Back in 2021, when Hyundai launched the Alcazar, it was bang in the middle of the COVID-19 pandemic. Maybe it was the situation or the towering popularity of its sibling that the Alcazar never managed to get the same kind of success as the Creta. However, the company wants to change that, and that is why the company has introduced a proper midlife facelift for its 7-seater SUV. Now, a lot of things have changed, right from the design and styling bit to the features and technology that you get with this Alcazar. So let's get into the details and find out how much has this 2024 Hyundai Alcazar changed and is it worth your money. But before we move ahead in this video, if you are new to the channel, do subscribe to Car and Bike, and while you're at it, do hit that bell notification as well so you never miss an update from us.
You want an honest man, but you don't understand. I won't be here when
Now, starting with the design, a lot has changed specifically in the face of the new Alcazar. As you can see, you get a completely redesigned look. Now, this has some kind of reminiscent of the Creta. However, it is more in line with the global design language of Hyundai SUVs, specifically the Santa Fe and even a bit of the Palisade, which is the flagship SUV. You see a lot of horizontal lines right from the headlamp design, which is again a connected design. You get sequential indicators as well, along with LED DRLs and full LED headlamps on this top of the line model. The bumper also has an aggressive look with a more silver surround around it with more piano black finishes. As you come towards the side a bit more, you'll see that you also get a set of new 18-inch alloy wheels. Now these are dual tone alloys, and that too particularly looks very nice, gives it a sporty look. And another new feature that you'll find here is that the cladding around the wheel arches and the lower body or the lower section of the SUV has also been finished in this piano black finish. Now this certainly adds premium flavor to the look. However, we'll have to see what kind of scratches this will attract in the longer run. It's not just the looks, but the Alcazar has also grown in size because it is now 60 mm longer, it is about 10 mm wider, and it is 35 mm taller than the previous model. Also, the wheelbase too has increased by 60 mm, and some of that dimension or hugeness that you see here is credited to the newer bumpers and also this new roof rail, which gets this new bridge style design and gives it a robust look. Now the global design language can be seen on the rear section as well. You have that similar matching design as the front section. There is a very subtle edge motif created by the LED tail lamps. Now these are connected of course with the connection bar right at the center and the Alcazar lettering along with it. You also have sequential indicators here too. You get a vertical design over here. Looks very nice, especially when they light up. This of course is the top of the line signature variant, and you have this larger spoiler as well with a high mounted stop lamp and a beefy rear bumper as well. As for luggage capacity, you have a decently sized 180 liters of boot space over here. This is enough for a couple of cabin luggage. For airport runs and all, this is enough. However, if you are a family of 4 or 5 and you like to go out on long trips, you can simply fold this down and get extended luggage capacity of almost 580 liters, and that is good enough for some big bags and for your week-long outing.
you want an honest man, but you don't understand. I won't be here when you wake up again.
Now, all things said, the Alcazar is based on the Creta, and while the exterior might have some distinctive traits that sets it apart from its sibling, the cabin more or less is quite similar. In fact, the layout and the design, especially of the dashboard, is similar to the new Creta, and it is not a bad thing, frankly, because you get that nice minimalistic look. Yes, you get new design trims over here, so the color palette is a lot more pops out. It is much more bright. You have this nice tan shade with black treatment, a mix of both piano black and matte black finishes. Then you have some nice soft touch material all across the dashboard, and the biggest highlight of course is this wide dual screen setup, which is like an infotainment screen as well as the instrument cluster. Both are fully digital unit. You get a nice crisp view. Again, being the top of the line model, this is the 10.25-inch screens on either side, and which is why you do not get wireless connectivity for Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. That feature still remains not available for us. However, you can get it connected through a wired cable, that to a type A unit. However, you do have a type C unit for charging. You have a very nice wireless phone charger over here as well, along with very nicely designed center console. Now the highlight of course is that you get ventilated seats for both the front driver and co-driver. Not just that, you also get them for the rear seats. I'll talk about that in a minute. You have a nice flat bottom steering wheel as well, has a nice grip to it. Paddle shifters are present. So overall, everything has been taken care of, and I quite like the setup. Yes, this color tone might not be my most favorite bit. You can let us know in the comments what do you think about it. However, I am pretty much comfortable over here, and I think ergonomically, this is a very nice place to be in. You also have the ADAS functions right now. Yes, this gets level to ADAS. I'll be talking about that as well ahead in this video. But you have mounted controls on the steering wheel for that, right from lane keep assist to adaptive cruise control on the Alcazar. That is too present here. And then, of course, you have this nice panoramic sunroof, which can be opened or closed using a simple voice command like close sunroof. There you have it.
Now, like before, the SUV is offered in both 7 and 6-seater options, and while we got to experience only the latter, it might very well be the main reason why you would consider buying the new 2024 Hyundai Alcazar.
Now, coming to the rear seat experience, this is the biggest highlight and the biggest USP of the Alcazar, because a lot of changes that have gone into the car makes it a much more proper chauffeur driven vehicle. Yes, there are exclusively 5 new features that make it that kind of car. You have a proper captain style seats over here. Yes, the previous Alcazar 2 offered that, but now the comfort level has gone up because you get this extended under thigh support that adds a lot of comfort while on long drives. You also get this nice wide winged design for the headrest, very comfortable. You'll have to try that. Then again, you have ventilation seats. Yes, both the left and right passengers get the ventilated seat option over here. That is one of my favorite features on the car. Then you have a proper sun blind, privacy blind that is very good, keeps the sun out as well as gives you enough privacy. Then again, the fifth and the most important bit, you get a boss mode. Yes, you get electronically adjustable seats for this front passenger. You can simply use these buttons to create more leg room for yourself when you are sitting on this boss's chair. Now, there are certain features that have been carried over from the previous Alcazar. That includes these nice dual AC vents for the rear passenger. You also get this tray table. This again, as the previous Alcazar, you have a cup holder right here. Pretty handy bit. Both the seats get them. You also get some new bits like a set of 2 Type-C USB ports for charging and a wireless phone charger as well. Then again, the center console has been removed, which was earlier there, and now you have better access to the third row. However, if you do want to slide these down or push these down to get inside the car, that will become a difficult task because there is no tumble function, and even if you push this back, you don't get enough space to get into the car. So that is a challenge. But however, let's get onto the third row and find out what kind of space I get there. Now, as you saw, a person of my size and stature might find it difficult getting onto the third row, and even here, it's not the most comfortable seat. Yes, this is set to a position where I will be relatively comfortable. It is not the optimal position for a second row passenger, but it is decent enough with decent legroom and size. Still, I do not have enough space to keep my legs here, especially my right one. I have to keep it at the center, and with that, having a second passenger right here sitting besides me would be a challenge. Maybe a kid can sit here. It's ideal for small kids, not for adults, but if a single person is sitting for short distances, that is not a problem. You do have some nice accessories and features over here. You have cup holders, a mobile holder for keeping your mobile, a Type C USB charger, and air vent with controller, right? Level of control, you get three levels of control. So all those things have been taken care of. You also have this adjustable headrest. So yes, a pretty decent space, but I would rather sit in the second row and enjoy all the features I get there.
In terms of safety, the Alcazar continues to take a leaf out of the Creta's book and offers you most of the features as standard. Close to 40 safety and security features are offered even in the base model, including 6 airbags, ABS with EBD, electronic stability control, vehicle management system, ISOFIX, a tire pressure monitoring system, rear camera, all 4 disc brakes, and hill start assist, among much more. The extra bits include hill descent control, rain sensing wipers, front parking sensors, and 360 view cameras. Furthermore, the top end premium and signature variants also come with level 2 advanced driver assistance systems, offering you up to 19 different functions that you will see on your screen right now. The ADAS functions work quite nicely, and for the small amount of time I got to experience them, I did not feel that they were much intrusive. And in case you don't like using them, you can set the emergency responses to low sensitivity or switch them off completely.
Now the Alcazar is offered in two engine options, the 1.5 litre turbocharged petrol engine, the one that I am driving right now, and the tried and tested 1.5 litre diesel engine as well. Now both these are offered with the 6-speed manual gearbox, and both get automatic options as well. Yes, this one gets a 7-speed DCT, whereas the diesel gets the 6-speed torque converter. Now we have tried and tested both these engine and transmission options in the Creta as well. It is the same setup and it is the same output as well. Yes, this petrol version continues to make about 158 brake horsepower, and the torque output stands at 253 Newton meters. For the diesel, it stands at around 114 brake horsepower and 250 Newton meters. Now we haven't got a chance to drive the diesel version on this one, but let's get into the petrol version first. Now this turbo petrol engine is certainly one of the nicer ones in this segment, and I particularly like its performance. The engine builds up speed and power nicely, and when you are in that sweet spot in the rev band, it feels a lot fun to drive. The transmission over here is the 7-speed dual clutch automatic unit, and it is quite nice. It does its job well. The shifts are nice and smooth, and they are quite quick, and overall the pairing with the engine certainly makes for a driving treat. The diesel, of course, we did not get to drive, and but we have experienced it in the Creta, and that too is a nice torquey engine. And if you are looking for a more frugal option which will give you more efficiency, then it is the diesel that you would need to go for, because it is the more fuel efficient option. And the fuel efficient figures, of course, you will find them on the screen right now. The Alcazar also comes with 3 driving modes and 3 different levels of traction control. You have the Eco, City and Sport. In Eco mode, of course, it is meant for those who are trying to drive this in a more frugal manner. The response is slightly delayed and it conserves fuel and tries to give you a better economy. However, if you move up to the sports mode, there does not much of a change in the suspension setup, but of course the engine feels a bit more responsive, it feels a bit more quicker and a bit more fun to drive. As for the city mode, of course, it is much more balanced and offers you a good middle ground between these two different modes. As for traction control modes, you do have snow, mud and sand. We haven't got much of a chance in this drive to experience these traction control properly, so yes, we will keep that judgment for a later date. As for how the Alcazar performs on the road, I have to say the ride quality on this SUV is particularly nice. It takes on all the undulations and the bumps on the road nicely, and it imparts minimal harshness inside the cabin, and that makes for a very good drive, not just on in the front seats, but also when you're sitting at the second row. And that is important because this is meant to be a chauffeur driven vehicle largely, and it is meant to be for that rear seat comfort. So overall, ride quality is one of its biggest USPs, and I think that will be something that will attract a lot of buyers. Now, handling too is not bad. It is quite good. It does feel planted, and it does feel stable. And even when you're doing slow speeds in traffic conditions like I am right now, it is quite nice to drive. The steering is light. It is quite nice and maneuverable, and you are pretty much at ease at all times. And even when you're doing higher speeds on the highway, yes, there I wish the steering would offer more heft. It weighs up nicely, but it could have been slightly better. Overall, it is a nice package, and I think in terms of driving bit, the Alcazar won't disappoint you.
The 2024 Hyundai Alcazar is priced between 14 lakh 99,000 rupees and goes up to 21 lakh 55,000 rupees. These are ex-showroom Delhi prices. And with the facelifted model, Hyundai has also introduced a new entry-level executive variant in addition to Prestige, Premium and Signature. This essentially brings the starting price of the SUV down by almost 1 lakh rupees compared to the launch price of the pre-facelift model. And looking at the features you get, on paper, the 2024 Hyundai Alcazar's pricing is certainly very attractive. So, does that mean you should consider it?
The 2024 Hyundai Alcazar is definitely a better product than it was before. It is visually a lot more appealing. The cabin space and features are good, and you get a lot of feature comforts and tech that makes the cabin experience a lot more better, especially at the second row. And the engines on offer, both the petrol and diesel, are some of the better ones you get in this segment. So overall, it is complete and a wholesome package now, and I think that will be its plus point. Now, the main reason why a lot of buyers continue to go for the Creta despite the Alcazar being in the market earlier was because the second row experience was not that extensively better compared to its 5-seater sibling. However, that has definitely changed now, and yes, that is the reason why I think a lot of buyers who are looking for a better second row experience will now deviate towards the Alcazar over the Creta. So if you agree with us, do let us know in the comments. If you have any suggestions, you can also put them down in the comment box below. And if you like this video, give us a thumbs up and share it with your fellow enthusiasts. And for more such video, keep following Car and Bike.